Hey everyone, welcome back to Marketing Your Niche. I am beyond excited because today we are celebrating a significant milestone. This is the 10th episode of this podcast. It feels amazing to have come this far, and I want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for tuning in, sharing your feedback, and being part of this journey. Whether you've been with me from episode 1 or you are joining right now, welcome. Today I want to take a moment to reflect on the lessons I learned since starting this podcast and share them with you, my incredible audience. These are lessons that have shaped not just the podcast but also my personal growth and business journey, and I hope they touch your journey too, whether it is the life or business journey. Let's get started. Having been a teacher, I love guiding my students to enhance their skills, explore their passions, and unleash their creativity. Little did I know, I was actually helping them to lay the groundwork for their own unique paths. That's why I launched this podcast, to assist you in doing the same. Marketing Your Niche, it's all about discovering your niche, taking action before you are ready, focusing on consistent progress, and move ahead to building a profitable online business, even if you are not sure you are doing it right. Tune in for practical advice, actionable marketing tips, and strategies to build a business that brings you more freedom, more profit, even more joy. Let's get started. Alright, let's reflect on the lessons I've learned since starting this podcast. As I mentioned, these are lessons that have shaped not just the podcast, but also my personal growth and business journey. Lesson number 1, the power of self-discipline. When I just first started this podcast, I quickly realized the consistency is everything. Showing up week after week, ready to deliver value, wasn't easy, especially when life got busy and when I have to balance between full-time job, family, kids, and other projects. But here's the thing, I learned that wasn't just about motivation, it was about discipline, about self-discipline. I realized one more time that discipline, and especially self-discipline, is the engine that keeps things moving forward when motivation runs dry. It's the ability to set a goal, commit to it, and follow through even when many other things are getting in your way. It's waking up early or staying up at night to record, edit, and perfect an episode when you could easily choose not to, or you could do other things to avoid working on the priorities. And every time I chose discipline over comfort, I saw progress. It's like building a muscle. You don't see the results overnight, but with consistent action, the results come your way. In the world of content creation, this has been my biggest takeaway so far. Self-discipline brings you closer to success. And this applies to anyone listening, whether you are building a business, starting a new project, or even pursuing personal growth. Discipline is the foundation. So, as you are working on your niche or your business or a side hustle, keep in mind it's not always going to be easy, but consistency will push you through those tough days. It is a journey, and for me was the start of discovering the power of self-discipline, the power to move mountains, and the power to go after what I dream of. Lesson number 2. Growth happens outside your comfort zone. Let me be honest. There were times when I didn't know where I was going to land with each episode of the podcast. But as I moved past any of the fears because I stepped out of the comfort zone, I discovered that I really enjoy creating and writing new episodes for my podcast, that I have so many things to share and probably will help other people in the world, and this is how I experience growth. The beauty of being uncomfortable, it is a sign that you are growing. Each time I challenge myself to step out of the comfort zone, whether It was tackling a new topic or share personal experiences or share insights of other people's stories that stretched my comfort zone and pushed me forward. And more importantly, the podcast grew. This is a lesson I encourage all of you to embrace. The path to building a business or mastering your niche is filled with uncertainty, yes. But if you are not willing to stretch beyond what feels safe, you will stay stagnant. Growth demands discomfort. So ask yourself, what's the next move that feels uncomfortable for you? Whether it's launching a product, starting a blog, or even recording your first video, lean into it because that's where the magic happens. Think about this. Every day we have crossroads, right? Moments where our choices define us. And in these moments, we have to make the right decisions. Not just the decisions, the right decisions. And these are not just the routine decisions that we make every day about what we are going to eat, drink, what restaurant we are going to go in the afternoon or evening. I'm talking about the decisions that are taking you out of your comfort zone. For example, for me, it was the decision to start my online business, to start a podcast, a YouTube channel. For you, it could be the same. Think of the things you want to accomplish, but instead of taking action, you start procrastinating because you wanted to avoid them, or as they were taking you out of your comfort zone. You've been there, right? Have you not? In that moment, it is easier to say, I will do it tomorrow. But you know what? Tomorrow will become the next day and the day after tomorrow and so on. So I learned that the difference between being successful and stagnation or procrastination is taking action. Do something about it. I often speak about discovering your niche, but this is not enough. You have to put the work into it. You have to use that talent, that skill or knowledge, because you could be another Einstein, but without action, it's like you have a library and you didn't read any of the books. Lesson number 3. Challenges are opportunities. During this short journey, of course, I hit roadblocks, more in the form of technical difficulties. What software should I use to record? What techie items do I need? How to record? How this software is working? And so on. Yes, the challenges were there, but I've learned that every challenge turned actually into a great opportunity. Here is the thing. Challenges force you to think outside the box, to become more resourceful, and to learn new skills. And yes, I could tell you that I learned so many things in a short period of time because I wanted to make this thing happen. I wanted to launch this podcast. I wanted to start my online business. I wanted to start my YouTube channel and so many other things that I realized that I enjoy a lot more. For example, early on when I started this podcast, I struggled with editing. It took me so many hours to get everything just right, and it was so frustrating. I watched so many YouTube videos trying to understand which software or techie tools should I use, how to edit, how to pack everything together and upload. But instead of seeing it as a roadblock, I realized it was a great opportunity to improve my skills, to get better at editing, and also realize that I started a new career. Now editing is coming more easily to me. I'm still learning, I'm still improving, I'm still trying to find better ways to deliver the content. Yes, it's true, but it is not that hard as it was at the beginning. The same can be applied to your business or the goals you want to accomplish. When you hit challenges, don't see them as a dead end. Instead, look at them as opportunities that will lead you to new heights. Every problem is actually an opportunity to grow. When you face a challenge, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me better? You have to look at the challenge in its eye and say, I'm stronger than you. With this mindset, every setback becomes a setup for success. I am not saying that will be easy. If would have been so easy, everybody would have been able to do it, but I could tell you it is worth it. And do you know why it's worth it? Because on the other side lies something that you dreamed of, a life where you are the master of your fate and not the victim of the circumstances. So go for it and trust me, it is worth it every step of the way. Lesson number 4. Action is the key to success. This is the big one. When I first started, I spent a lot of time planning what topics to cover, how to structure episodes, how to market the podcast. But at the end of the day, none of that planning mattered without action. You can have the best idea in the world, but they are meaningless unless you act on them. I learned that taking action, even imperfect action, is better than sitting on the sidelines waiting for the perfect moment. In fact, there is not such thing like perfect moment. The more action you take, the more you learn, adapt and improve. Once I was taking action and pushed myself to plan my episode to organize much better, I got more clear on what I want to accomplish and on how to get things done more efficiently and in a timely manner. Another lesson that I learned, action brings clarity. You have to move the needle if you want to get things in motion. Another thing that I learned, if you are waiting for everything to be perfect before you launch your business, your podcast, or your next big idea, let me tell you, you will be waiting forever. Take that first step and don't worry if it's messy or imperfect. You will figure it out along the way. Nobody has the perfect formula for making perfect things, so nor do I. I learned that I should not wait to have everything figured out or have the perfect podcast episode or the perfect script. So, how do we push ourselves to take action? We have to ask ourselves why. Why do you want to do this? Think about the transformation that your action will bring once you get out of your comfort zone. It's about turning the I can't into I will. And this is where all the magic happens. Lesson number 5. People connect with authenticity. One of the most rewarding things I've learned is that people connect with authenticity. When I first started, I thought I had to be polished and perfect. But as I open up, share my personal stories, shared what I learned from other people's experiences and struggles or success, and showed more of my true self, I noticed that the connection with my audience grew stronger. People want to see the real you, flaws and all that. People want to see who you are. What's your story? So they could connect with you and they could relate to what you are teaching. That's what builds trust. As I'm glad to say, looking at my analytics of my podcast, every week people from other country are listening to my podcast and my audience is growing as we go together in this journey. The episode of my podcast I listen by now in so many countries and we are just at episode 10. I am confident that somebody there in the world learns something from the things I'm talking in each episode of my podcast, and I'm confident that I help somebody there in the world more indirect. I hope that I change somebody's life in better or the mindset. I hope that each listener had at least one takeaway that will help him or her in their life journey. Whether you are creating content, building a brand, or engaging with your audience, authenticity is the key. Show up as yourself, and people will resonate with that. Alright, friends, to summarize, what are the main takeaways from this journey? Number one, the power of self discipline. Discipline is the key to success. Stay committed to yourself, to your dreams, to the journey of forcing yourself to get it done no matter what. Remember, the only limits that exist are the ones that we place on ourselves. And it's not just about the goal, it is the person who you are going to become in the process of reaching the goal. Number two, growth happens outside your comfort zone. The most significant growth comes when you step out of your comfort zone. Don't shy away from the discomfort, it's a sign you are on the right path. Number three, challenges are opportunities. Every challenge is a chance to learn and grow. Embrace them, and they will lead you to new skills and breakthroughs. They build strengths, they shape your wisdom, and not least, they could inspire you. Number four, action is everything. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Take action now, even if it's imperfect. It's the only way to move forward. It is the force that is keeping us going when everything else says stop. Number five, authenticity connects. People connect with the real you. Be authentic and you will build deeper, more meaningful relationships with your audience. There you have it. As we celebrate this 10th episode together, I want to thank each and every one of you, wherever you are in the world, for being part of this journey. We've learned a lot and there is much more to come. Here's to the next 10 episodes and beyond, filled with more incredible stories, business tips and strategies, more actionable steps to find your niche and monetize it. I will meet you every Thursday, same time, same place. Thank you for listening, and I can't wait to continue this journey with all of you. Until next time, keep showing up as your most authentic self.